The prices of fruits and vegetables have risen sharply from a year ago, with the retail prices of cherry tomatoes reaching 10,748 won per kilogram as of Friday, up 42.2% from a year earlier.
지난 금요일 기준 방울토마토 가격이 1kg에 1,748원으로 전년 대비 42.2% 오르는 등 국내 주요 과채 가격이 1년 전보다 급등한 것으로 나타났습니다. Yeah, everything's getting more expensive. We've been saying this week after week.
Yeah. You know, I enjoy eating cherry tomatoes. You know, I eat them raw in salads, in pastas. But if you look at the data, the prices of cherry tomatoes have risen over 50%. Compared to the average over the previous 3 years. Like we said in the headline there, a kilogram of cherry tomatoes costs over 10,000 won.
Yeah.
And it's not just cherry tomatoes. Korean melons, chamé, reached 27,896 won for 10 pieces. So for one piece, about 2,800 won, and that's up 35.6% from a year ago. But it's not all fruits. In fact, imported fruits have actually fallen. And the reason for that is the government's direct imports that are being brought in. Bananas have fallen by 22% on year to about 260 won per 100 grams.
Okay.
And mangoes, believe it or not, have fallen as well, about 17.4%. So it's not all fruit,
Right.
thankfully. But I have noticed there have been mangoes are much easier to access in supermarkets here
Yeah,
in
they
Korea,
was
right?
considered a bit of a luxury before.
Yeah.
But I guess not that much anymore.
Because Korea's climate obviously is not, made for growing mangoes. But I mean, I remember the time back in the day when bananas were actually very expensive
you're
in
dating
Korea.
yourself.
Yeah, as well. Yes, bananas were a very rare fruit, and
Yeah.
you had to be a certain class, perhaps, because they weren't easily accessible. But
Exactly.
I see that happening with avocados, kiwis, and now mangoes as well. But but if you just look at the prices of these fruits, they fluctuate depending on what they are.
I feel like these days apples are going toward that trend of becoming a luxury item.
Exactly.
Who would have guessed? 자, 소매 가격 보도록 하겠습니다. 영어로는 retail price.
Yeah, we're talking about the retail prices of fruits. And the retail price is a price that the customer pays when purchasing a product, as opposed to wholesale prices or manufactured prices. Retail in and of itself means the sale of goods or commodities in small quantities to the ultimate consumer. So when you look at the distribution chain, starting with the manufacturer, you might have an importer, wholesaler, and all the way down to the consumer.
Exactly. 이제 처음에는 그 도매를 거쳐서 소매, 그다음에 이제 소비자로 가게 되는 거죠. 그래서 이 도매가는 영어로 wholesale prices라고 하는데요. WHOLESALE, wholesale, price or prices 하면 되고요.
Yep.
소매 가격은 retail price or prices. retail은 RETAIL이 되겠습니다. 자, 킬로그램당이라는 거는 영어로 뭐라 그러죠?
Yeah, we use the word per, right? PER. So per kilogram. Per simply means for each. So it's usually used with units to express a certain rate or ratio. So here we're talking about fruits in terms of per kilogram. But per in and of itself, it can also mean according to or in accordance with something. So for example, per instructions or as per the rules. It's used with as a lot. So as per the rules, everyone must follow the teacher's instructions, for example.
I think it comes from Latin, maybe?
Either
right?
Latin or French, I believe.
I see.
It's from there. In French, it would be pour, P-O-U-R.
Right.
But in English, it does look Latin, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just one of those words that is not originally English, but it's just used all the time. PER 이렇게 쓰고요. 킬로그램당 하고 싶으면 per kilogram. 그리고 우리가 이제 1인당 국민소득 얘기한다든지 이럴 때는 per capita라는
capita.
단어를 쓰죠. 네, per person 해도 되지만 이제 그 용어가 사실 per capita라는 표현을 많이 쓰는 것
And
같고.
speaking of Latin, that probably comes from Latin as well. Capita
Probably,
is not
yeah.
usually used in English in and of
That's
itself.
true.
Right? Yeah.
그러네요. 네, 그다음에 이제 또 다른 그 사용법으로 as per 뭐뭐뭐 이러면은 뭐뭐에 의하여, 뭐뭐에 의거하여 이런 뜻이에요. 그래서 as per these instructions. 그럼 이 설명에 따라서 이 설명에 의해서 이렇게 거기에 맞춰서 행동을 하십시오.
Yep.
이런 의미로 얘기를 할 수 있겠죠. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. The prices of fruits and vegetables have risen sharply from a year ago, with the retail prices of cherry tomatoes reaching 10,748 won per kilogram as of Friday, up 42.2% from a year earlier. Let's move on to the second headline.